Hi, my name is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. And I cannot believe that I am saying this right now, but I have officially finished the first week on my graduate scheme. Time has gone by so incredibly fast, and it's so weird for me to just think about the fact that I have finished the first week. In all fairness, it's been the first week and a bit because we started on a Thursday, which sounds very strange, which I fully agree with you is very strange. However, if you look at it from the perspective that Thursday was September 1st, it makes a bit more sense. Today it is Friday, and that means that I have worked those first 2 days. I've had my first weekend and I have worked a full week, so another 5 days. So essentially I have worked 7 days already, which is a bit more than a normal week, which is just 5 days a week, if that makes sense. But here we are, I finished my first ever full week, and I'll just be reflecting back on my first couple of days and give you guys some advice, because maybe you're in the same position as I am, or maybe you will be in a year from now. So let's get into that. So my first day was actually rather atypical, and in all honesty, I really liked it actually. So my first morning, we all went into the office. I met my fellow graduates who are on the graduate scheme. We all sat down, had a bit of an introduction, and then at 11 a.m. we left to go for sports day. The entire office had a sports day, which was an awesome opportunity to meet a bunch of people. So me and another one of my fellow graduates were placed together in a team with a bunch of others who are working in the office. So we already got to know a couple of our future colleagues within different industries. So that is absolutely awesome. Then the next day we went in again and had just a full day of introductions. And then it was weekend, and it was actually quite nice. In all fairness, looking back, I think having a start like this where you just do 2 days in the office and then you just go back home for the weekend, sort of decompress, because you do have a lot of first impressions those 2 days. It was a lot to take in. Also the sports day, I had a muscle ache for a very long time because I wanted to do good. I wanted to impress my future colleagues, so I might have put in a little bit of extra effort, and my team came in second place, so that is pretty good. After the sports day, we had a bit of a drink, and then obviously the next day, which I mentioned earlier, we just had a bunch of introductions. So those were essentially my first 2 days, and I had a very good time. And then this past week has been essentially more introductions, and in all fairness, it's been mostly just me, my fellow graduates, watching a bunch of videos, having a bunch of people explain to us what their functions are in all the different parts of the business, which is truly very interesting, but it's a lot of information, and that is no way that I am going to retain it all, but that's totally okay. Apart from introductions into different industries within the business and to a bunch of people, it's amazing that we got to speak to so many people in the business and ask them questions, which was absolutely wonderful. Honestly, if you're in this position, make the most out of it. Go in it with a couple of questions. Maybe you have certain industries or certain bits within a business that really pique your interest, and this really is your opportunity to just ask anything. So that was quite helpful to sort of see where in the future I might see myself going, but also where I probably don't see myself going, and also to just ask questions, be surprised, learn more about the business and how it all functions together. So these sort of introductions really are your opportunity to ask as many questions as you want to really get that understanding about how the business functions. Besides all of these like more formal introductions, we also got an introduction to the office, because obviously we need to know where the fire escape's at, you know, that sort of thing. I got my work laptop, which is actually a really nice laptop, I have to say. I am an Apple user, but they did end up giving everybody a Microsoft computer. I think that is more common in like the business world, as you do have to work with Excel, and Excel just does work better on a Windows computer, as much as that is painful for me to say. I have used Excel on both Windows and Apple, and it does work slightly better on Windows. So we all have Windows computers now, and I do feel that like the transition is way smaller than what it used to be when I was a kid, like when I was 10 years old, which is 15 years ago. It was really tough to switch between either Windows and Apple back and forth, and right now it's a bit more smooth. So I got my access card to the building, obviously my charger, we got a goodie bag that has some merch in it, which is always nice to have, and we got a bit of a tour of the office, which is also nice that I just know where to find things. And all in all, I think I can like talk about this for a very long time, but it just boils down to it all being a lot of information, watching a lot of videos, being on a lot of of Zoom calls or Teams calls and just absorbing a lot of information about the business and the people who work there and what they really do and what their position is within the business itself and how different functions function together. It's just a lot of information, and there's no way that I'm going to retain it all. I'm trying to like take notes to sort of try and give it a place in my head, but obviously I am coming in from a literature background. I have not studied anything business related apart from like the random module left and right. I didn't do anything businessy, so it's a lot of information for me, but so far I have been enjoying it to the max. It's been incredibly helpful, incredibly great, and I have really nothing bad to say about any of the introductions I've had so far. In terms of what my next weeks will look like, they will still be introductions. It's just gonna be a while. If you join a grad scheme, first couple of weeks will just be introductions, meeting a bunch of people and watching a bunch of videos and PowerPoint presentations. That's just the way it is, and that's fine. But anyway, so that is how my first week went. In terms of advice for you, honestly, try and think of questions ahead that you might want to ask these people who work in these particular functions. And if you don't have any questions, that's okay too, because there's always people who have questions. And for example, I don't really know a lot about finance, so I cannot really ask a bunch of questions about that because all the information that they're giving me is sort of new for me, and I sort of need to give it a space in my head before I can ask a bunch of intelligent questions about it. And that's totally fine too. And try to meet as many new people as you can, like even outside of your graduate cohort. Try to meet your future colleagues, because those are the people you will be working with in the future most likely. And also it's always nice to have somebody that you can ask questions. So I think for now those would be my main takeaways. Honestly, I'm still new to this as well, so I'll check in a bit and have maybe way much more wisdom on this matter than I have now. But for now, this is it. I'm quite enjoying it. It is very tiring, even though the hours are not that long. It is very tiring. I have to be there at 8 a.m. every single morning, and I'm done at about 4 or 5-ish p.m., which is okay hours, but it is extremely tiring. So far, I've been loving it, and I hope you will love your graduate scheme as well, or your new job, and good luck on that. And thank you so much for watching this video, which has been slightly incoherent probably, but thank you so much. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.